So picture this. You're flicking through channels, desperately avoiding another rerun of Friends. Seriously, how many times can we watch Ross stick his foot in it? And bam! There it is. An ad for a game show about a black and white TV show called Pleasantville. Not exactly the thrill ride you were hoping for, right? Well, for this bookworm named David, this is the equivalent of winning the lottery. This dude practically worships Pleasantville, a 50s sitcom so wholesome it could cure cavities. He can quote every line, recite every plot twist, basically channel his inner Pleasantville trivia champion. Loser alert? Maybe. But hey, at least he has a passion, unlike his sister Jennifer. Jennifer is basically your stereotypical teenage girl. School? Whatever. Hobbies? Shopping, gossiping, and perfecting that selfie pout. The two are about as close as polar bears and penguins, living on opposite ends of the earth and all that. One fateful night, disaster strikes. David's got his eye on the Pleasantville Trivia Marathon, a chance to win a cool $1,000, enough to buy, like, a whole new shelf of books. Jennifer, on the other hand, has a way more pressing issue. Her crush, the epitome of coolness at their school. Let's call him McDreamy because, well, that's what every teenage girl secretly thinks, right? He is coming over for a movie night. Mom's out, so it's the perfect opportunity to unleash her inner Jennifer Love Hewitt, because apparently that's still a thing. Here's where things get interesting, or should I say, ridiculously dramatic. A fight over the remote erupts, fueled by teenage angst and a serious lack of chill. The remote snaps like a twig, leaving them with a bigger problem than McDreamy's impending arrival. Just then, the doorbell rings. Enter the repairman, a guy who looks like he stepped out of a black and white movie himself, because, foreshadowing, duh. Now David's a trivia whiz, but apparently, this repairman is a Pleasantville trivia super whiz. He throws questions at David faster than you can say sock hop, and David nails every single one. The repairman, clearly impressed, throws a new remote at them, looking like he just pulled it out of a magic hat. Of course, with siblings like these, things can't just be normal. A button gets pressed because, honestly, can these two do anything without breaking something? And zap, they're sucked right into the TV. Poof, gone are the teenage angst and McDreamy drama. Now they're in Pleasantville, dressed like characters from a bygone era, staring at a world in glorious shades of, well, gray. A talking head pops up on the screen, and guess what? It's the repairman. He informs them, in that overly enthusiastic way that only sitcom characters seem to possess, that they're now stuck in Pleasantville. David, ever the Pleasantville aficionado, freaks out. Jennifer, well, she's mostly concerned about her hair color, because priorities. Turns out, they've replaced Bud and Mary Sue, the sitcom's resident teenage stereotypes. David, the bookworm, is now stuck playing the sitcom jock. Jennifer, the selfie queen, is forced to transform into Mary Sue, the epitome of 50s wholesomeness. Think poodle skirts and forced smiles. Their sitcom mom Betty keeps shoving food down their throats, because apparently, happiness in Pleasantville is directly proportional to your waistline. David tries to explain their predicament, but in this black and white world, logic and sarcasm seem to be in short supply. So, David and Jennifer find themselves strolling through this grayscale wonderland, where everyone's acting like they stepped out of a 50s sitcom. David's chill, thanks to his encyclopedic knowledge of Pleasantville's cast of characters. But Jennifer's lost in a sea of confusion. They stumble upon a group of firefighters doing their thing, saving a kitten from a tree. But surprise, surprise, there's no fire in this town. Yup, Pleasantville's fire-free zone, just like in the show. Because who needs flames when you've got perfect safety standards? Then, in saunters Mary Sue's hunky crush, Skip Martin like he just stepped off the cover of a romance novel. Jennifer's eyes light up like it's Christmas morning, finally finding something worth sticking around for. Meanwhile, David and Jennifer find themselves enrolled in the old Timmy school, playing the roles of Bud and Mary. David's got the whole cast on speed dial, introducing Jennifer to her fellow classmates from a safe distance. He's all about keeping things on script, warning Jennifer not to go off book and upset the delicate balance of sitcom life. Turns out, Pleasantville's got a case of serious small-town syndrome. They think they're the center of the universe. The road out of town? Oh, it's just a loop, leading you right back to where you started. Talk about being trapped in a real-life rerun. Fast forward to recess, and David's suddenly the LeBron James of the playground, sinking shots like he's got magnets in his sneakers. Skip sidles up, asking if he can take Jennifer for a spin. David's not ready to let his sis loose in the dating game just yet, but he knows the show's script like the back of his hand. so he reluctantly gives his blessing for one date, just to keep things kosher. While David's slinging burgers at the local diner, Pleasantville's version of Cheers, Jennifer and Skip roll up for their big date. Skip's not exactly Jennifer's usual type. He's more vanilla than a scoop of ice cream. But hey, she's willing to give him a chance. That is until boredom strikes, and she's itching to spice things up with a trip to Lover's Lane. But hold on to your hats, folks, cause Jennifer's got a different agenda. Instead of stargazing and hand-holding like the locals, she's all about making moves on Skip, who's about as clueless as a goldfish in a bowl. Back at home, David's dealing with his own drama as his boss, Bill, and Mom exchange googly eyes like teenagers at a school dance. Skip drops Jennifer off after their not-so-idyllic date, and he's tripping over a red rose like it's an alien artifact. Guess seeing colors for the first time can really throw a guy for a loop, huh? Next day at school, it's all anyone can talk about. Skip's epic date with Jennifer, spreading like gossip wildfire. Ah, the joys of small-town life, where everyone's business is everyone else's entertainment. Well, hold on to your hats, folks, cause Pleasantville's about to get a makeover that even Barbie would envy. So, here's the scoop. Jennifer's gone and turned the whole town upside down. The basketball team? Yeah, they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn if their lives depended on it. David's practically pulling his hair out, begging Jennifer to keep a lid on it. But she's all about shaking things up in Pleasantville. Next thing you know, people are seeing colors. Bill's ready to ditch the diner life for a paintbrush. And Lover's Lane's seeing more action than a Netflix rom-com. Naturally, the good old townsfolk ain't too thrilled about this Technicolor revolution. Mayor's raising eyebrows, suspicious as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. And when Betty stumbles upon the concept of making love, well, let's just say she's in for a colorful surprise. But all this rainbow chaos ain't all sunshine and rainbows. A tree outside the Parkers' place decides to go full-on bonfire. And suddenly, the town's more clueless than a goldfish in a maze. Thankfully, David steps up to the plate, channeling his inner hero and saving the day like a boss. Cue the mayor's applause and a pat on the back for our boy Wonder. But wait, there's more. David's not just scoring points on the basketball court. He's also scoring a date with Margaret, who's got a crush on him bigger than Texas. And get this, David's even teaching the town's teens a thing or two about fire safety, thanks to some good old book smarts. Who knew reading could be so lit? But not everyone's on board with this new Pleasantville. Oh no, the old guard, including Mayor McStick and the Mud, ain't too keen on all this change. So, they're cooking up some strict laws to put the kibosh on all this colorful nonsense. Meanwhile, Betty's having a crisis of her own, hiding out in the kitchen like it's witness protection. But fear not, David's to the rescue, armed with a makeup kit and a heart of gold. And just when you think things couldn't get any crazier, David's having a heart-to-heart with the repairman from TV Land, who's begging him to hit the rewind button and go back to reality. But David, he's feeling more at home in Pleasantville than a pig in mud, so he tells Mr. Repairman to take a hike. Instead, he's cruising down Lover's Lane with Margaret, soaking in all the colors of the rainbow and feeling more alive than ever. Ah, the sweet smell of rebellion. It's enough to make you want to paint the town red, blue, and every shade in between. Hold on to your hats, folks, cause Pleasantville's about to get a splash of color and a heap of drama. It's like a soap opera on steroids. First up, we've got Betty sauntering around town like she's on a mission, and what does she stumble upon? Only Bill's artistic masterpieces, proudly displayed outside his diner. Betty's all like, "Ooh, colors!" and Waltzy's in for a closer look. Cue some flirty banter, but they both know they're playing with fire, and not the good kind. Meanwhile, Jennifer's doing a complete 180 from her usual self. Suddenly, she's all about hitting the books, and couldn't care less about her reflection in the mirror. She even turns down Skip's invite to Lover's Lane. But hey, who needs romance when you've got a good textbook, am I right? Then, out of the blue, it starts raining cats and dogs, and the good folks of Pleasantville are losing their minds like it's the end of the world. But hey, a little rain never hurt nobody, and soon enough, they're dancing in the downpour like it's Woodstock 69. But wait, there's trouble brewing on the home front. George is fuming, cause Betty's not around to wait on him hand and foot. Cue the emergency town meeting, where the old boys club's all riled up about their wives and kids not towing the line. Fast forward to Bill and Betty waking up in the diner together. Talk about a breakfast of champions. Betty's back home to face the music, and George ain't too pleased about her newfound independence. But hey, a girl's gotta stand her ground, right? Meanwhile, tensions between the black and white crew and the Technicolor rebels are reaching boiling point. The founding fathers decide to lay down the law, banning anything remotely colorful. Books, music, you name it. And just when you think things couldn't get crazier, there's riots in the streets, destroying everything in their path. But fear not, David and his motley crew of Rainbow Warriors aren't going down without a fight. They roll up their sleeves and start cleaning up the mess, all while David takes on the role of a revolutionary leader, painting walls and stirring up trouble. Cut to the courtroom showdown, where David and Bill drop some truth bombs about freedom and equality. Suddenly, the whole town's seeing colors, literally. Even the mayor's in on the act, staring at his rainbow reflection like it's the Mona Lisa. Before you know it, Pleasantville's ditching its old school ways and embracing the Technicolor dream. The road out of town? It's no longer a loop. It's a gateway to the outside world, connecting folks like never before. And as for David, well, he's ready to punch his ticket back to reality, but Jennifer's fallen head over heels for Pleasantville. So it's goodbye for him, but Jennifer's sticking around for round 2 of this colorful adventure. And as the credits roll, we're left with one question. Who needs a remote when you've got a town full of colorful characters and a whole world of possibilities? Welcome to the new and improved Pleasantville, where anything goes, and black and white is so last season. Alright folks, buckle up for the grand finale of David's wild ride in Pleasantville. So picture this, David's back home, ready to spill the beans to his mom about the reality of life. And what better way to drive the point home than with a little Pleasantville magic? We catch a glimpse of the townies, living it up in Technicolor bliss. George and Betty are chilling on a park bench, pondering the mysteries of the universe. But wait, as the camera zooms in, we see George is morphed into Bill. Cue the dramatic twist. And just like that, the movie hits us with a truth bomb. Life's not all rainbows and butterflies. Sure, stability's nice and all, but where's the fun in that? Unlike Pleasantville's black and white snooze fest, our lives are a Technicolor roller coaster of ups, downs, and everything in between. So, here's to embracing the chaos. It's what makes life worth living.